Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to week 11, day 2 tutorial 2 on backtesting and simulation on trading strategies. Interesting topic. I'm also learning on this area because I don't have much experience, but I try to explore, and I think we will have much of interactive and discussion-like session. Before before the start, I share my slides. Is there anyone እንትን ትሬዲንግ ምናምን ኤክስፔሪየንስ አለው ሶፋር ካሳ ሀቢት ትሬዲንግ ምናምን ላይ ወይም ደግሞ የምታውቃቸው ሲንስ ዩ ጆይንድ አርሊ ብዬን any one of you, do you know anything about trading strategies and this any trading platform markets? If not, we can proceed to our next slide, but if you have some experience, it will be great. I'm audible, right? Can you hear me? You can give me some reaction. Yeah. Hi, Tagya. So if you don't have experience, I'm new for the area too, but we can, I think, can have a discussion. If my screen froze or if you can't see the proceeding slide, always please stop me there and you can stop me there because I'm not able to see you right, or just open up your mic and you can talk. Let me start my slide. Yeah. So today's session is on backtesting and simulation for trading strategies. We're going to see some common trading strategies and their simulation. And as an introductory, my slide is short and we will focus more on the demo. Backtesting is a process of evaluating a trading strategy using historical data to assess its effectiveness. Generally, backtesting, you have some historical data and you want to see some strategies, known strategies, you're going to test those strategies to fit into the best performing state, or to find the best performing or profitable strategy that can be used for the live scenario. That means you're going to use, there is on backtesting, there is a imagination or assumption that the past historic data will have some important impact on the coming ones, and the whole idea of backtesting is to evaluate different trading strategies on historical data on that specific ticker or company or any assets, and you trying to find the best alternative or strategy to be used on the live scenario, or to for ወደፊት ላለው ለምትጠቀሙት ፓስት ያለውትን እንትኖች ፐርፎርማንስ በመጠቀም የትኛው ስትራቴጂ ሞር ፊት ያደርጋል እዛ ላይ እና ሞር ፕሮፊት ያመጣል የሚለውን ለማወቅ ነው። ጀነራሊ it provides insight into how the strategy would perform under different scenarios, profitable strategy, risk, optimize trading parameter, improve decision making. This is the purpose. General highlight on the backtesting process: you need to select a trading strategy. There are handful strategies that can be used. We're going to see 5 or 6 of them: moving average, crossover, relative strength index, Bollinger Band, and others. And you need to select one of the strategies from this, So you need to have some knowledge on this. You have to browse, you have to explore on these trading strategies and how can you use them and collect some historic data on that specific. It might be stock or sorry, it might be stock or any company or gold or any stock. You need to collect some historic data to perform some backtesting on and define entry and exit rule, like buy and sell conditions, something like that. This kind of situation on the strategies will be handled on different ways. We will try to see. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, let's continue. So uh, then we simulate a trade over time. We will try to simulate or fit in some different strategies from this into the historic data using different rules, and we will evaluate the performance. The general point of using these strategies, as I told you before, is just to know how can they, which strategy can be used for that specific stock. For example, if you select Apple and get like some historic data on that, you will try different strategies and you will evaluate those strategies to find the best performing one. That means mostly for us, it's risk or some what's the gain and loss that I will have, what is the risk associated with that, and what is the percentage of profitable within a specific time. So we need to go through this general step, but they can break down into further sub steps. So on implementing, but then you will see the performance using different return, risk, shape ratio. These are some common metrics that can be used. Total return means average percentage gain or loss. Shape ratio is risk adjusted return after the risk or considering the risk, what will be your return. And max drawn means the largest loss from peak to trough. That means what is the largest drop on that implementation. We will see it on the graph later. Win rate, what is the percentage of profitable or trades? How many trades will be there? We will see it. Some trading strategies that we are going to see next in our demo to moving average, relative strength index, Bollinger Band. Moving average crossover, for example, what's going to do is it used two moving average. That means short and long. For example, it might be like 50 days average. It's going to calculate the past 50 days average on today. For example, if we are doing the moving average crossover today, we are going to use two average for the first 50 days. It's just an example. And for example, 200 days, one shorter and the other long. And buy sell signal will be dependent on those two. It is those two lines. For example, buy when the short term, for example, 15-day average cross above the longer one, 200 average ሲሆን buy signal ይሆናል። or that means እዛ ላይ you will buy some stock ማለት ነው። ሴል ደግሞ የሚሆነው when the short term ሙቪንግ አቨሬጅ ክሮስ ቢሎ ሎንግ ተርም ሙቪንግ አቨሬጅ በታች ከሆነ ደግሞ ይውል ጀስት እንደዚህ ይሄ ስትራቴጂ የሚሰራው ላይክ ዲስ ኢት ዊል buy or sell based on the two moving average, one shorter, the other is longer, and it will sell when the shorter moving average cross above the long term ላይ ሲሄድ ባይንግ ሲግናል ይሆናል። so it will buy some stocks እነሱን you will set on if you if you have some experience on some trading markets, በጣም አሁን ላይ እንደውም እየተለመደ ያለ ነው። ብዙ ሰው ትሬድ ያደርጋል። ሶ ሾርት ይሄኛውን ዋትስ ዩር ስትራቴጂ ምናምን ነው የሚባባሉት ካያችሁ እና ዲስ አር ዘ ስትራቴጂስ በት ዩ ኒድ ቱ ኤክስፕሎር ሞር ቱ ጌት ኢንቱ ዘ ኢንቨስትመንት ሴል ወን ዘ ሾርት ተርም ደግሞ ከሎንግ ተርሙ ቢሎ ወን ኢት ክሮስ ቢሎ ዘ ሎንገር ዋን ኢትስ ሴሊንግ ሲግናል. It is just for this strategy, moving average crossover. The other strategy is RSI strategy. That means relative strength index. That is, it will try to find the overbought and oversold times. If the price is have some relative strength index of less than 30, that will consider oversold. So the consideration here is there will be high probability that the signal will be returning up from this point on. So you will just buy. If you buy at this point, the consideration is it won't go below this and it will start raising on the graph. So it's a buying signal, selling signal. If it's 70 above 70, there is an overbought situation. That means the price is too high and there are overbought. Yeah, ብዙ እየተሸጠ ነው ማለት ነው። ምንድነው 60 ሲሆንም መሸጥ ይቻላል። ግን ኢንዲስ ሪላቲቭ ስትሬንግዝ ኢንዴክስ ምንድነው 70 ከሆነ ተመልሶ የመውረዱ ቻንስ ይኖረዋል ተብሎ እዛች ፖይንት ላይ ነው የሚሸጠው ማለት ነው። እንዲህ ስትራቴጂ ሶ ሴሊንግ ሲግናል ነው የሚሆነው። አርኤስአዩ ከሰባ በላይ ሲሆን ፐርፐስ ካፕቸር ሾርት ተርም ፕራይስ ሪቨርሳል ነው እንትን የሚለው ሾርት ተርም ይሄ ግራፉ ላይ ያሉትን እንትኖች ሾርት ተርም ኦሲሌት የሚያደርገውን እየጠበቀ ይገዛል ይሸጣል። ስለዚህ there will be a higher chance for short term profitability. We will see it on the graph. Bollinger Band is the other one. It will use moving average and standard deviation. There is a moving average and there will be some plus or minus. So when the price touch the lower price, when you price the current trend, when it touches lower band, it's a buying. ያ ማለት ሞስትሊ አቬሬጁ ላይ ነው የሚሆነው ብሎ ኮንሲደር አድርጎ የታችኛውን ባንድ ሲነጋ ኢት ዊል ባይ ኤንድ አፐር ባንድ ደግሞ ፕላስ ኦር ማይነስ የምንለው ማለት ነው። ስታንዳርድ ዲቪዬሽን ላይ አፐር ባንድን ሲነካ ደግሞ ሴል ነው። እነዚህ ጀስት ስታርቲንግ ፖይንት ኤንድ just new for this area and just present give you a starting point for this. You can, if you are interested enough, you can go and explore more and make yourself familiarized with all this if you are interested and if you want to further take these strategies into action. But for this tutorial session, I'm just making you familiarize with some common strategies, and these are the other strategies. You can go through them, and not only this one, but you can browse on them. As a summary, backtesting helps validate trading strategy before live execution. As we say, before we use some strategy on the future or live execution, or not a future, on things happening now or live situation, we need to validate those strategies by testing on the historic data on that specific stock, and simulation adds real world condition like transaction cost, like it will add some, if I have this cash and if the buying and selling price will be this, and it will try to simulate different conditions on these strategies. And different strategies suit different markets condition, trend following, mean reverting. There are different strategies. You can go explore more, and we are going to see on the demo some of them. And performance metrics, we are going to see shape ratio. That's a percentage loss or gain, maximum drawn, as we see from peak to trough. What is the maximum drawn down, or it will win rate, or what's the percentage of a win, and the other one is number of trades that will happen during that period of time. We can use these metrics to see the performance of the specific strategy on that ticker. If you have any question until now, as I told you, I try to make, there is nothing much to talk on the slides. It's better to go directly to the demo. But if you have any question, or if you have any prior experience on this area, you can share your experience here. It might not be that clear, but does it give you some insight on what trading or these curves, we're going to see them, that you see on trading traders ሁሌ የምታዩት those curves? I don't know. Am I not getting any reaction? Is this confusing, or I can get your reaction? You can write on the chat box. So Bethlehem is good. So we can proceed to the, I think to the Bethlehem. Do you have a prior experience, or do you know any these strategies? ከዚህ በፊት if you can talk, I'd appreciate. Okay, do you have some experience on trading? Not much, but I have some insights. Yeah, that's great. So I think it's just for making the ground equal for all of you. This is very, very elementary session on the strategies and trading, backtesting and simulation. But as you, I'm not appreciating anything, or I'm not driving anyone to get into any investment. But these days, these terms are getting very famous, and I myself, for example, know a couple of traders that ብዙ የሚከስሩ ብዙ የሚያገኙ ሰው these are the terms that they mostly you use. They will have some strategy, or and አሴት ላይ ሊሆን ይችላል እንትን የሚሉት ኢንቨስት የሚያደርጉት ምናምን፣ ግን they have their own strategy። እነሱን ስትራቴጂዎች የሚያገኙት ግን from historic እንደዚህ ባክ ቴስቲንግ ሰርቶ ነው ማለት ነው። I think we can go directly into the demo now. It's visible, right? Stop me if it's stuck at any point, okay? I'm not able. So as always, what I try to do is I wrote one script for backtesting class, and I will import all these functions into my backtesting notebook. These are all the strategies that we have. The first thing we do, I think you are required to work on Tesla, if I'm not mistaken. But the first thing is we initialize some. We have a backtester class, and we have different methods within that class, and we have set some parameters here: the initial cash of investment that we want, the transaction cost, and the period that we want to backtest on. For example, here I'm going to test from 2020 to 2024, but you can I think for you it's longer time. You can adjust it for any period of time that the stock is available, and we are going to fetch the data using Y-Finance. We can download. For this, we are going to pass some ticker or symbol. That means each stock will have its own tickers. We can, I think there is a wiki page for that. You can go and find for a ticker for any of the stock, and start time, and it takes start time and end time. Here, a fetch data function returns data downloaded from Y-Finance. Then I put other methods for these are, for example, moving average crossover is the one that we discussed. RSI is a relative strength index that we have seen overbought and oversold situation that we discussed 70 and 30. We put it here, but you can make it, for example, 80 and 20 and anything. And you can just, since it's just testing, you can try a lot of things here. Bollinger Band, it's going to number of standard deviation 2, that means lower end of upper bound ነው የሚወስደው. So these are all the the function. This moving average, convergent divergence, works on top of moving average, but it has some twist on that. And these are all the strategies that I want to test. You can go through it, but some of them, these 3 of them, for example, are the one that we discussed. I will share you the slide right away for after the session. But here, what I want is to just to try to simulate the every strategy by giving some signal, and we'll see it here. Yeah, this is simulate trading, and I put some plots here, scatter plot, and something like that. Yeah, the first thing, as always, what that we are going to do is setting our script directory in the script. Then we initialize and paste the data. What I want to work on is Apple from 2020 to 2024. I pass this value. I told you it needs a ticker or symbol, start time and end time, and it fetch all the data during that time. And this is the head of my data. You can go further and explore on this one on your EDA. I think it's for Tesla, but what I will do is just visualize the trend. These are the trend of the data from 2020 to 2024. You can see the up and highs and the performance of the stock throughout this period. This is the just a time series plot of that. Now we start running each individual strategies. The first one is moving average crossover strategy. We can see that and get results. These are the common signals that you see on the traders display. Buy signal, sell signal, the one that we talk. For example, for this specific period of time, while using moving average crossover, there will be only one trade. Based on the rule that this strategy have, there will be one trade. This is portfolio growth. What will be the growth in your investment, and this is buy and signal, sell signal. As I told you, this is exactly the time series or the stock performance during this time. So it will find some signals to buy or sell to maximize your profit, and there will be only why I think the result is here. The return is 64 shape ratio. Maximum drawn is, you can see their meaning here. The strategy achieved 64.6 again over the backtesting period. For example, win rate is 0. This means the strategy only execute one trade, and it was not a profitable one. And total trade is 1. Here's total trade is 1. But if we try, this is the other one. Is I think moving average crossover. Moving average crossover. I think it's the same. I duplicated this step. The next one, for example, is RSI, Relative Strength Index strategy. As I told you, it will, on short spikes, it will try to find the buying and selling points by using 30 and 70 as parameter we pass. As you can see, the difference from here, there is only one buy here, and we didn't even sell or during this period. But if you can see this RSI strategy, there are multiple buying and selling points that can be እኔም በጣም እንትን አይደለሁም ፋሚሊያር አይደለሁም ብሆን በጣም would be that rich but ምንድነው ኦፕኒንግ ኤግዚቲንግ ምናምን የሚሏቸው እንትኖች አሉ የምትገቡባቸው that means ኢንቨስት የምታደርጉባቸው እና የምትወጡባቸው that means ሴል አድርጋችሁ የምትወጡባቸው ታይሞች ማለት ናቸው። as you can see we have like around 10. You can see the result here. Total trade is 10. Generally, this shape ratio is expected to be more than 1 to be a profitable one. For example, here we have 3.39. It is the strategy resulted in a modest gain over the backtesting period. የሆነ gain አለው ማለት ነው። The total ቶታል ሪተርን ቅድም እንዳልነው ጌን ኦር ሎስ ነው የሚያሳየን። if it's more than one, it's generally a gain, but the value will indicate how the gain will be translated. Shape ratio is the same. I think maximum drawn is 29%. That means during this, I think it will be this one. The maximum drawn from peak to touching trough ድረስ ያለውን maximum 29% of the total እንትን ነው የሚለው። that's one. Win rate is, I think the win rate is 75%. This is the same one. This is for Bollinger. For this, I think it is there is 60% of winning during this time, and you can see the win rate is 60% of trade were profitable. ያ ማለት ምንድነው? ይሄ ኢንዲኬት እያደረገን ያለው if we apply for example RSI, there will be a lot of things to consider, but with this specific analysis there will be like 10 there will be like 10 trades where you will buy and sell based on the signal. That means there will have 10 points that the price, the RSI relative strength index will get to 70, and 30-70 is oversold situation, and you are going to buy on that you are at that point, because after 70 you consider the trade, the graph. For example, እዚች ጋር ምንድነው ባይንግ ሲግናል የተባለው ወርዶ 70 ደርሷል። That means there is a high probability that the graph will go up, and as we discussed earlier, RSI use different during this oscillation. It will try to use shorter time fluctuations for buying and selling opportunity, and it will buy here. And for example, here I think it's going up, and there will be a high probability of getting the price is oversold situation. That means there is higher price አለው ማለት ነው። ትልቅ ነው ፕራይሱ ብዙ የተሸጠ ከሆነ እዚህ short, since there is a higher chance of the graph going down afterwards, it will be profitable. And as we can see from the result, 60% profitability meaning the trade had higher probability of winning trade than losing ones. These are the signals that you can get from these strategies, different strategies. This one is Bollinger Band, the one that we discussed earlier. Here, I think there are relatively more trading chance on the signal. Bollinger, as we discussed, it will have some moving average, and it uses the standard deviation, the upper and the lower bound. And when the price point gets below the lower bound, it will buy, and when the price point gets above the upper bound, it will sell. So from the result, we can see that there are 12 trades that can happen during this time. And there are 12 trades, and the winning rate is higher, as you can see, 75%. You can, these other strategies, relatively advanced one, for example, this one, for example, has a lot of trades, 37 trades, and you can interpret into the same way. You can interpret, and you can decide which strategy to use. For comparison, I think I put here a comparison table for all the strategies. These all scripts are backtesting module, and I imported them, and I'm using here. Monte Carlo was taken too much time, that's why I removed it. So for the demo, it might crash. So, but you can try it yourself by uncommenting it and run it. Yeah, this is pretty much my demonstration. If you have any question, I think we can discuss. Is this clear or is it insightful at least? I'm sure you always see these graphs on the traders ትልልቅ ስክሪን አድርገው ቤቶቻቸው ውስጥ they are always trying to follow these signals. What they are looking generally is a buying and selling opportunity, and this predefined strategiዎች ደግሞ comprehensive የሆነ the different way ያላቸው deciding these things that we just seen some of them. It will give you some signals, and based on that rule, for example, $100 ከሆነ ኢንቨስት ያደረጋችሁት ያንን ገንዘብ ባይን ሲግናል ሲያገኝ ባይ ያደርጋል፣ ሴሊንግ ሲግናል እያደረገ ዲዩሪንግ ኤግዚት እስክታደርጉ ዲዩሪንግ ዳት ታይም ኢት ዊል ትሬድ ማለት ነው። ግን ያ ዜር አር ታይም ሴንሲቲቪቲ ኦን ዲስ ትሬዲንግ ማርኬት እንትኖች ላይ በጣም ፎር ኤግዛምፕል they have to be በጣም ስልካቸው ላይ ኦር ስክሪናቸው ላይ they have to be በጣም መከታተል አለባቸው። ለምን ፎር ኤግዛምፕል if you go down and if you don't exit on time, you will lose everything about the investment, but it's not about trade እንድታደርጉ ሳይሆን ጀነራል አይዲያ እንዲኖራችሁ ነው። is it insightful or do you get confused? So give me some reaction and we can end the session here, I think. What about the other Ebenezer and this? So I hope yeah, okay, thank you guys. I hope you find this insightful and you can try on your Tesla, or I'm not sure which ticker is given for you. You can try to see the performance. እነዚህ ብቻ ሳይሆን በጣም ብዙ ትሬዲንግ ስትራቴጂዎች አሉ። You can browse and just to give you some insight, no? You can browse and try to use, and the whole point as I have said ምንድነው ከሂስቶሪክ ተነስታችሁ ቢፎር ላይቭ ኤክስኪዩሽን ባክቴስት አድርጎ ሲሙሌት አድርጎ እነዛን ነገር አይቶ this strategy can be used on the live execution ብላችሁ ዲሳይድ አድርጋችሁ ለመቀጠል ነው። Thank you guys for joining and have a nice evening.